But what else we got? You have anything else related to social media?
Um, just I don't know. This is really related to social media. The Clermont twins was on a podcast. They were on that Ricky. What's that guy's name? Ricky and Denzel.
I don't know the name of the podcast,
I don't know their podcast,
but
but
Ricky
you know them.
Thompson.
Yeah. And they have Denzel Dion. They have a podcast. Crazy. They got the Clermont twins on it. But you know what's funny? Like, I guess it's not crazy because like
They in that racket.
yeah, like they're up there, and the Clermont twins are not like unreachable either. I feel like they're like humble enough that they'll do a podcast for like anybody probably. Like, you know, of course it has some type of benefit for them, but they're you know, I think they're kind of humble in that aspect. But they were on the podcast. I don't know if it's out yet. I didn't watch it, but I saw a clip where they said that you should date in your lane. And you know, we can just have a small conversation about this, but people, obviously most people agreed, but you know, I just wanted to see your opinion. Like basically what they were saying, like she was saying, well, I don't know which one it was, but one of them were saying, you know, they look so much alike. I can never figure out who was who, except I think Sinead has a tattoo on her thigh. But she was saying, like, cause obviously they have money. So she's like, you know, if I could afford to get myself like a steak meal and all this, like I want a man that could do that for me too, like in my lane. She was just saying, like, it's kind of like, you know, if I'm here financially, like, it would be nice for you to be there financially also, because it's just easier. And then he's like, you know, she was like, if you don't have money, date men that don't have money, like, you know, basically like just dating your lane. So I'm like, I agree, because it's like, I feel like a lot, like, you know, hear me being a pick me, but it's like a lot of broke women or women that don't really got much always want men that do have much. And it's like, why you have that much expectation when you don't even have that for yourself? Like, you should date in your lane. Like the Clermont twins said, date what matches you financially. So if you making $50K a year, don't expect your man to make twice that when you don't even make that for yourself. Like, go find you a man that makes that same money. If I'm making $200K a year, I'm gonna want my man to be making minimum $200K a year, personally, because if things I could do for myself, I would want you to do for me too. And I know money's not everything, and relationships are not that, but in some ways, like, I feel like you kind of have to be a team with your partner, in that sense.
While I don't disagree with the sentiment, I think to make it more like a broader thing, like, yeah, you should date people that
in your caliber, in your scope.
Just, you should date people that that fit with what you're looking for. So yeah, that to me is more important than anything. And
obviously the money is not everything. So obviously someone could be there for you emotionally, or they could have a plan to be successful and become successful one day. Like, I get that.
Yeah, my thought wasn't very coherent, but basically I'll use a better example. So for me, I feel like I could have never been with anybody in a different that was in a different industry other than finance, because for me personally, it's something that you can connect with. I think it's something that you have a better understanding about.
And it's a unique experience. You know, nobody understands how crazy this world is. It's so stressful.
Yeah, in terms of scheduling and stuff like that, because, you know, some women want football players for whatever reason, but then
they're mad that they don't see them.
Yeah, that they're traveling all the time. So I think,
not to put my ex-boss's business out there. Hopefully he's not watching this. But like, I remember once we were at a happy hour and his wife was blowing up the phone. It's like, you know, this is how corporate is. Like, she's a teacher. Like, this is how corporate is. Like, this happy hour, people want to wind down with the people that they work with after stressful periods of work. Like, I think we just were wrapping up year end. She blowing up his phone, or it was like right before year end, so we was like prepping for it. And it's like, she's a teacher. And it's like, he might have been more compatible with somebody who has been in the same industry, because she might be at her own happy hour. So she's not, you know, blowing up your phone for you to go home.
Right. And that's what I mean. I think more so you need to align with somebody mentally, and if you want to like do it financially, you know what I feel like? I think if you match the person mentally, that the finances will tend to be the same.
It will match anyway, because if you are a hustler and you want a hustler, you guys both want to get to the money.
Yeah, like for me and you specifically, I needed the person to be in finance to have a better understanding of me and my ambitions, and, you know, we share common knowledge on things, or you could bounce questions off me, I could bounce questions off you. And
the crazy thing is, when we met, we were undeclared, but I think obviously conversations came about to what we wanted to do eventually. Yeah. So it's like, obviously our initial attraction to each other was just human nature, just
right.
But then what kept the relationship going, obviously, it's all right, we have similar backgrounds, we have similar family home styles, we have similar ambitions.
Yeah, and I'm not saying don't date anybody, but just because you're in finance and they're a teacher or anything.
Yeah, but it just helps.
It does help, and the finances, because even within the same industries, the finances can be significantly different. You can make significantly more money than me, or I can make significantly more money than you. But at least mentally and the way that you think will still be the same, and that's more important than anything, in my opinion. Women might feel differently, like if me and you, like if you make $500,000 and I make 50, and we both in finance, like the mentality might not be able to, know. But then again, it might, because you see that people in other rackets where that happens, where somebody's dating way above, or somebody's dating way below in terms of finances. So for me personally, like while I don't disagree, I think it's more the focus should be more on how the person thinks. Yeah. And the money will come.
The mindset, yeah. And that's why too, like I always say, like even if you're pursuing somebody and they have like strong ambitions and they have like this like layout of the plans they have for their future, that's, you should in a way maybe bet on them. You don't have to, no one's saying you have to, but who knows, they could be the next Elon Musk and you might have given up on them because they weren't where you wanted them to be financially. And then usually those type of people want to backpedal. It's like, nah, you should have seen the vision and saw the mindset there. Cause like you can know somebody within like a month and if they got that ambition or not. Like if you dating a girl who literally don't do nothing for like the bare minimum, she's gonna be like that forever. Like most likely, unless she's going through like a mental health issue. Like the mindset is there. Like for us, like I seen how your second semester of freshman year went, and I was like, okay, he's not. Like any other guy would have given up. Like no offense, but our ex-boyfriend was a bum, and we seen it. Like I seen it. We seen it. The nigga drank all day, didn't go to class, didn't do nothing. No surprise he dropped out, right? But I saw a difference obviously in you. All the people that dropped out, I knew instantly they weren't going to really make it to the end. You could see that easily and quickly. So
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the mindset thing.
I think the better way to word it is just kind of a no shit kind of comment, but just date people that you like. And if you like people with money and if you like people with a certain personality type, like that's all it really comes down to.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters, yeah.
And that's it. Because if they don't have the money for you, then obviously you don't like them. So don't date them.
It's that simple, yeah.
All right, what else we got? Yeah, seriously, date people you like, because people get married and they don't even like the person.
They don't like the person. Like, this is crazy.
They like the idea of the person, but they don't actually like the person.
And I think a lot of people have a loneliness thing, so they'll date anybody just not be lonely.
For sure.
Because like, how come you told me you wanted a 6'8" man and this, that, but now you're dating a guy who's like 10 years younger than you and 5'10".
We're not going to talk.
5'9".
We're not going to talk about that.
He's like, well, clearly your standards you didn't get what you wanted because you were just probably desperate to just have anybody. But okay.
Desperate,
not desperate, but I think some people. Okay, not desperate. I think some people are humble and realize, wow, like this is a really good guy, and he might not be all the stuff that I wanted him to be.
Nah, I think that they just know that they realize they can't. That is not
like time's ticking, and that's not what you're gonna get because like we said, you're not a Jada. You're not gonna get a Carl Towns. What's his name? Carl Towns, and you're not a Jordan Woods. Like it's just that simple. It's not simple. Because lots of times those men want hustlers too. Some of them want bums because they want to have control over them financially. And
I don't think they do. I think that's you know what.
Myth.
I think it's a myth. I think that that sometimes those men get caught up. They just didn't pull out and they impregnate them on accident. But I know 1,000% that men in the NBA or the NFL or any of these guys, these rappers, they don't want to have the baby moms that they do. They do. Like
look how proud little oh my god, Dirk, is it Dirk? I be confused now. Little Dirk is of India and like all her like endeavors and stuff. Like he be like going hard like promoting her makeup. Like I'm sure they don't want no girl that they can't even brag on.
Yeah.
What are you gonna brag on? That your girls did the bare minimum of life and don't do nothing and just mooches off of you?
Yeah, I just think that sometimes those guys get caught. They made a mistake, get impregnated the wrong person, and then now they gotta live with it. But ideally, every man wants their ASAP to your Rihanna, that kind of thing. Jay-Z to Beyonce. People want those high profile relationships or just people that match them.
People want to brag on their girl and be that power couple. No one wants to be look like a son and a mother's son or father.
Wait, huh?
Like nobody wants to look like it's like a father-daughter relationship. Like you're just paying for them to live.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're supporting them.
That part. We'll save that for another day. If you want to talk about the daddy issues, but